And we're live. I'll just take this off, this headset off. So hopefully you can hear me. He says, knocking down his headphones. Well, hello and welcome to the weekly live stream. Yeah, usual house rules if you're watching back on the... oh dear, that lighting is awful. There we go. Lighting is never very good in this room. Anyway, usual house rules as it were, you know, keep it clean, keep it friendly, keep it honest, you know, and we'll get on just fine. So, yeah, as I say, welcome to the live stream. I am now live on YouTube, and apologies, I'm just checking Twitter. Yep, for once again, I actually have the chat screen on this screen that I'm looking at. So it's the direction I'm looking at, it's that way. Yeah, see, it's reversed, but the screen is that way, the chat screen. And obviously I've got my secondary screen here. Of course the camera is there. I need to set up my other camera. I have a better camera for this. I've been using my laptop all this time, so I'm just going to make sure everything is looking good on YouTube itself. Hopefully it is telling people, yes, it's telling people I am live. That is wonderful. Okay, so yeah, 2 minutes in already, and really I'm just going to clear the house rules again. Keep it clean, keep it friendly, you know, no smut, no naughtiness sort of thing. Yeah, so at the moment, waiting for people to join me. If you're watching this back on the replay, I might drop another. Oh, hello, Jess. Thank you for joining. You found the link. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, just going through the house rules as usual. So we've got them all cleared up. Not as thorough as I usually am with them, but no, that's absolutely fine. Yes, yeah, no, I had taco boats for my dinner tonight. So yeah, because obviously you're in America. So oh, what am I drinking? Pepsi Cola. So I'm on. Yeah, so been keeping busy obviously and working through little projects and things. For those of you who are watching this back, I'm still working on Lord of War and Heartache. This is an exclusive for this live stream. I've introduced a brand new character for Chapter 9, whom I'm playing, Arik the Bard. I've recorded his audio already, so, you know, exciting times. I'm in the process of completing Chapter 8. In fact, Chapter 8 is ready to be uploaded. Ah, yeah, I do enjoy a pint of Guinness, but I'm not able to pour it properly. I'm one of those people who can't pour a pint of Guinness properly. I do like Guinness though. I do enjoy a good stout every now and then. I'm much more a real ale man myself, or a craft beer man. I'm quite partial to German craft beer and Belgian beer. You know, Belgian wheat beer is a particular favourite of mine. So we have sort of independent beer houses in Britain now. There's a couple of there's a chain in a couple of towns that I I used to frequent before the lockdown and everything. The chain is called Fuggles, Fuggles, and they do the most wonderful craft beers. Yeah, it's lovely. I love Belgian beer. I really love. It is something else. I think it really. I'm not a lager. Excuse me. I'm not a drinker of lager. I'm not a great drinker of lager. I do prefer bitters and ales. Broadside is a favourite of mine, by Adnams, which is a Suffolk brewery in the town of Southwold. Ooh. I went in. Oh yes, the Wild Rover, indeed. Yes, I had to think about that for a minute. Indeed, yes. I played the Wild Rover for many a year, spending all of my money on whiskey and beer, and I can never remember the rest of it. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more. No, I play the Wild Rover, no, never, no more. Yeah, I should be a shanty man, really. I should be a shanty man. Yes, I have thought about doing the having a go at that shanty that's become really popular. I can't remember its title now. That's going to irritate me, but it's the really popular shanty that everyone seems to be singing at the moment. The Tellerman. I think it's the Tellerman or the Wellerman. Hello, Jade. Welcome. We were just talking about yeah. Let's see if I can find the lyrics. No, because I won't sing it, because obviously I need to memorise the tune. That is the problem. That is the one thing. It takes me a while to actually memorise a song. Hello, a newcomer. Hello, Catherine. Thank you for joining me. The Wellerman, yes. It does take me a while to remember songs. So it takes a. There is one I do like though. I can't remember who sung it, but it's called Roll the. Oh, we'll be all right. No. Oh yes. We'll be all right when the wind is in our sails. Oh, we'll be all right when the wind is in our sails. We'll be all right when the wind is in our sails. We'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Sorry, my throat's a bit dry tonight, so I can't sort of. But that one, I can't remember who sung that. I've got it on my favourites. It was Collins someone or other. No, I'll find it and share it on. I think I've shared it on. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm very much into the old sort of the. I mean, I have quite an eclectic taste in music, really, from anything, well, medieval up to. I don't really go for very modern music, to be honest with you. I'm not into hip hop. Well, that's a bit. Well, I'm into a very unusual style of hip hop. Yeah, I think I know which one that is. I'll just copy and paste that. Obviously, that will play through the. Oh no, no, no. No. I think I did. Yes, yeah. David Collin. Thank you. Yes, that's the one. Um, yeah. Funnily enough, I actually used it as the trailer for my weighing anchor in night song um, trailer, which is now part of what I call the Fireland saga of my series. So that's how I first came across it, and I kind of became it was an instant hit for me. I do like all the old songs. Um, I have a genuinely eclectic taste. I also like sort of world music as well. I like what they refer to as world music. Uh, so yeah, but I sorry, I've lost my train. I've lost my line of thought. Yeah, yes, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm probably when I was actually in the school choir at secondary school here in Britain, and no, that's fine, Jess. You please do carry on. But I was in the school choir at secondary school, and I've always been a bit of a. I'm not a baritone or a bass. I would say I'm probably a tenor, if anything. Um, my voice isn't exceptionally deep. It's but I sometimes have a little sing along when I can. Um, but yeah, everything. A lot of the time it's all sort of audio and editing really of my written work. So my heart is in script writing really rather than singing. Um, you know that's why obviously I started. That's the whole reason I started what I created really. I was put on furlough back in May last, late April, early May, and because I was working out today, my channel will be a year old on the 24th of June. So that will be. I'll probably have to. No, I don't have to, but I would like to do a channelversary video for it. I do feel I kind of peaked when I did my. I kind of wish I'd held back on the Q&A video that I did for 100 subscribers. I feel like I kind of jinxed myself doing that one. By doing it that soon, but I wanted to because I was, someone once told me I'd be lucky if I even got a single subscriber, because allegedly I am that boring according to them, but I'm happy with the way things are going. I'm really grateful for everyone who's subscribed to me, and I'm really delighted that they enjoy what I create, because my style of ASMR is not. There's not many of us who do fantasy storytelling. I mean, there's myself, Whisperwind ASMR, Oopsie Daisy ASMR kind of does. She does a very broad spectrum of storytelling and things, but there's not many ASM artists who sort of concentrate. Oh, thank you, Jess. I truly appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, Oh, thank you, Catherine. I appreciate that. I do work hard. I do work hard on my storytelling, and because I love storytelling. I love using my imagination and creating worlds. And my sci-fi world that I created for my channel sort of ground to a halt after chapter 8. I will revisit it, but I really don't know what direction I want to take it in. Whereas turning my hand to the fantasy genre, I love it, because with fantasy anything can happen, anything goes. I can have elements of sci-fi in it. I can have elements of history. I can have anything I want with fantasy. Sci-fi, I find, is rigid. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, and enjoy your meal. Yep, you enjoy yourself. Yeah, have a good one. I'm going to be here for a while, so if you do want to jump back in at some point, I'm not going anywhere. No, thank you for joining me for the opening segments. So, but to think it all sort of everything that I've created started with a single meme, and it's I've now got 7 main chapters, at least. And yes, I know my live streams usually end up with me talking about my project. I refer to it as my project, because it kind of has become a project, really, and it's something I'm really passionate about. It is truly something that's grown and evolved. I've got a dozen side story chapters now. There's 20 video. Well, there's about 18 videos in total for the storyline at the moment. 7 primary chapters and about 9 side story chapters. And I'm always writing and developing, and I'm always looking for people to, collaborate with me. I love collaborating with people. I've worked with some really wonderful people, and I'm working with some really wonderful people as well. We've got some really fantastic ASM artists on board, and this is the whole thing. It's become too big for me to do on my own, and I don't want to do it on my own anymore. I really don't. I want to share it. And yes, I do give 100% development to the participants. I simply write the scripts and the character notes, send them over to everyone involved, and they do the rest of the work. They can ask me questions, I can make suggestions, but they don't have to stick to them. They're free to do whatever they want. with their characters, and same with costuming. Unless I'm specifically asked, I don't get involved with costumes or anything like that. They're free to develop, and that's exactly why I love. Because everyone, I have not had a single ounce of disappointment from anyone. Sorry, I'm just going to grab a drink. And that's what makes it so special, because everyone involved so far has exceeded my expectations. Not that I've had low expectations or high expectations, but I've always wondered what their vision of their chosen characters would be. And it's always literally been exactly the same as I've seen them in my mind's eye. They've literally taken how I've described them in my notes and developed them into something. They have literally brought my world to life. It is superb, and I'm working with some amazing people in the coming chapters. Chapter 9 will be the next big collaboration. All the big collaborations will have premieres. Chapter 8, Chapter 8, 10 and 12 will just be uploaded. And any side stories don't get premieres either. That's because they're what I call filler material. So basically, because obviously there can be huge gaps between primary chapters, the filler material creates sort of like the buffer to bridge the gaps. My most popular ones seem to be the vampire sagas, the Lord Volkov. And I quite like Lord Volkov. He's probably one of my favourite villains in the series, along with Rafik. I voice both Rafik and Lord Volkov. If you've seen Chapter 7, its prequel and its sequel, the two troop. Yeah, I mean, I will admit, I have. I don't say this. I truly don't say this to brag, but a lot of people have said they like how descriptive my writing is. The thing is, I am very descriptive in my writing. The things I never give are an age or physical appearance or hair colour. That gives everyone the chance to wear a wig. And that means anyone and everyone can play a role. It means they I never give a physical appearance. I never give an age. I never give. I only give a description of of the character's personality and the their background, their sort of origins. Where they're from, where they were born. What area of the world that my story takes place in they were born, and then obviously I describe what their costume style would be, but I never specifically say what it should be. I'll give you an example. On the city of Ondar, of the Ondarian monarchy, which is the capital city of the whole of all three regions. There's two regional capitals as well. The Ondarian monarchy for example, their costume style is a cross between medieval, Victorian, and steampunk. Then, of course, you've got the Desert Realm, capital city of Gebelra, and that's sort of like Middle Eastern, Egyptian, Turkish, with a bit of steampunk thrown in. And then you've got the Forest Realm, which is, the way I describe their fashion would be, think Lord of the Rings elves. In my world, elves no longer exist. Well, they are assumed to no longer exist. Everyone that occupies the Forest Realm are descendants of the elves. They're more half-elves, so not all of them have the pointy ears. You know, there's no, but in the Forest Realm they have a much longer lifespan to the rest of the continent of Monarcha. And it's everything is for the amount of time I've been working on this entire thing, I actually came up with the idea back in late May, early June, and whereas my sci-fi project was years and years and years in the making, I'd started writing it when I was a teenager. This came to me. It came to me naturally. In fact, I'm more attuned to the fantasy genre than the sci-fi genre. I feel, and we've got, as I say, we've got lots of. Oh, thank you, Gwyn. Yes, hello, welcome. Yes, they are, and of course, Gwyn, who's just joined us, voices Cleo of the Cleo and Trajan side stories, which are two investigators searching for the crown of the Tyrant King, which has vanished. Which, of course, if you're familiar with the main stories, the main chapters, you, as the diplomat, dear viewer, have in fact yourself stolen and then lost. So, yes, you are implicated in the storyline. And that's the thing, it's very viewer-centric. I like to try and make it's treated as if it's interactive. Although I give... It works especially well with YouTube premieres, because I really do think that it's fun to interact with the characters. Hence why I always put in the scripts little words of pause for viewer response. And it's really worked wonders. We've got some. I really can't wait for the next couple of for the next, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 6 chapters to come. I'm still looking to recruit for the Dream Realm chapters, which is chapters 16 to 20, or at least 16 to 19. And oh, hello, Selkie. Welcome. Yes, thank you for joining me. You're most welcome. Do excuse me. I was going through. It is. I mean, there are a lot of ASM artists that do it when they do roleplay. See, really, in a way, my entire series is. Well, you're always welcome, Gwyn. You're always welcome. It is a common feature in a lot of ASMR role plays that you will notice but in a way, my I keep calling it my project because it has become like a project to me. You know, it is like one big long role play, with many people involved along the way, and there's a couple of things that I'm working on. I'm actually working on my first proper mini series for it as well. It's called The Academy, and I'm hoping that I've got some people interested in it. I've got the 2 singing students. That's Spinner of Trails and who was it? Who was the other one? Clover Cutie ASMR. Yeah, are the singing students. Yeah, and I'm looking for, and hopefully, if she's available, I can get Irma because she's playing. You may have already seen her video. She did a video on her channel called "Follow My Instructions," where she plays the character of Alina. I think it's called Follow My Instructions. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was having a little sing-song, but yeah, Irma La Dolce ASMR did a video. Yeah, ASMR, follow my instruction, focus on me. Well, that's actually a character. That is actually the character I created for her, by the name of Alina, and she's actually one of the leaders of the. She's the tutor of dance at the academy, and I was very nervous about it because I mean, you know, Irma La Dolce actually jumped on board because she's actually a belly dancer, but you know, yeah, you did hear that right when I said belly dancer, but yeah, I mean, obviously, if you've seen Chapter 7, we've already had one in the series played by Jodie Marie ASMR. That was quite a. See, I wanted something different. I wanted something that stood out. Yeah, so I'm looking for things like. I mean, what have we got? We've got jesters. In the academy, we've got jesters, we've got bards, we've got singers, we've got musicians. Yeah, we have got belly dancers. Well, we haven't got them. That one I always find is the hardest to recruit because obviously confidence is needed. But it was, I can't remember who suggested the idea, because obviously the desert realm is where the story takes place. So, yeah, but there will be singing in it. Yeah. I'm playing the Master of Ceremonies. I can't remember the name of the Master of Ceremonies. I haven't even written. Well, I play Arik the Bard in Chapter 9. That will be. He will make an appearance. In fact, he will probably be the leader, the bardic leader, to be honest with you. I'll probably play him. I'm also looking at playing Gideon Vrecht, the Master of Ceremonies, which is in fact the name of one of my steampunk characters from the Fitzwilliam and Vrecht. Oh, hello, Lex. Welcome. Yes, thank you for joining me. Just sort of going through my talking a bit behind the scenes about Lord of War and Heartache, which, yes, I admit I bang on a lot about on Twitter. I do, I admit it. I'm just so passionate about it. Really, it's something I've become quite quite proud of. Really, I take pride in the project. I'm doing well, thank you. Yes, yeah, doing well. Yeah. Changing the subject very quick. Well, changing the subject. I did go out for a walk today around my hometown, which was lovely to get out the house for more than an hour. Yeah, it was cold but dry, so and busy. Surprisingly, there's no shops open, but it was busy. It was busier than usual. A lot of families out with their kids. I think they wanted to get, and I saw a couple of friends as well who I haven't seen for quite a while. So it was nice to get out. It really was. I mean, I wouldn't say Tunbridge is the most exciting. Isn't the most exciting. Oh, hello, welcome, Whispering Life. Thank you for dropping by. This is exciting. The new faces, and always welcome new faces. Very happy. I mean, my hometown, Tunbridge, isn't always the most exciting of towns. I mean, we have our castle, and we have riverside walks as well. It's pleasant. It's a pleasant town to live in. But I've lived here all my life, and you sort of get so used to a place that you sort of take it for granted, really. I have missed going out and about. I want to get back to London when the lockdown is over. I want to start going back up to London again and visiting places. I mean, this is something I've often said, but if anything is ever really organised, I would absolutely love to join a gathering of ASMR artists in London. Meet up and have a proper meet up and actually meet people in person. Really, that's something I'd love to do, because I know everyone through Twitter and YouTube and everything, but it's like with me. You only know me through a camera. You don't get the true sense of who I am. It's either through a keyboard and a screen, or a keyboard and the screen, or camera. So I suppose in a way, I mean, with London, I normally go up with my cousin, because I'll say one thing I've really missed in the last year, and I have really missed, and that's Comic-Con. I really have missed going to Comic-Con. I usually do the May one and the October one. I usually do both the MCM Comic-Cons at the London, but of course it's a Nightingale Hospital now because of COVID, so there hasn't been a Comic-Con there at all in the last year, which is a shame, because I love cosplay and I love steampunk cosplay. So I've got my steampunk costume, but I haven't really been able to use it to its full potential. The closest I got was actually what you saw in last week's premiere of Chapter 7 with me as Maximus. That was pretty much my steampunk cosplay, minus the shirt and tie. So yeah, I have missed the convention circuit a lot. That is something I really want to get back into, and of course I've got my Fallout cosplay as well, which most of you will have seen on Twitter recently. I've got the Pit Boy and everything. So that's something I really want to get back into when the lockdown finally lifts and the convention circuit starts again. But I'd also love to visit the Birmingham convention, the Liverpool convention, and the Manchester convention, because they are as big as the London ones. Thank you, Whispering Life. Thank you for joining me. Very much appreciated. Thank you. So, yeah, conventions, things like that, exhibitions. I want to get back to visiting art galleries again and museums. Really want to start. I want to start travelling Britain again. Going to places and I don't drive. I rely solely on public transport. But it's no bother to me to jump on a train and travel halfway up the country just to even see a steam locomotive. I've been all the way up to York on my own to see a steam locomotive, or it's no biggie for me to, if it's something I really want to do or want to see or go to, I will do it. It's hey Julie, thank you for joining. Hello, yes. It's a bit of a mixed bag ramble today. Obviously I've been discussing the project, as you know. So I've been talking about looking for people on board. I know you're interested in chapter 16. I have got you down for chapter 16. That's the steampunk chapter. But no, I've just been saying how much I miss the Comic-Cons, in London. I miss going to London, to be honest with you. It's a fantastic city. Tiring. I mean, when I go up, I normally I go up really early and have breakfast in London, and then I come home I really do make a day of it in London. I go up about. I can go up there about 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday and come home about 9-10 o'clock at night. Hey Jason, good to see you. Welcome. Selkie, I have plenty of. If you want to drop me a DM on Twitter, I can give you access to my Google Drive, because I've got everything listed on the Google Drive. That's not a problem. And it's all separated out and listed. And I have got someone interested in a couple of roles, which I've got to write them the notes for. But whichever ones they don't go for, I'm happy for people to take multiple roles. I'm doing well, thank you, Jason. Went out for a walk today, thankfully. After all, it was nice to get out of the house. Really nice to get out of the house. You informed your family this morning, yeah. Yeah, I did say that if you did come over here, give me a shout, and I'll take you to some of my. I'll take you to Ye Old Cheshire Cheese. It's one of my favourite pubs in London. It's a really old historic pub. It's off the beaten track, but it's a fantastic London pub. You feel like you've walked back in time when you go in there. And there's a really good pub. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want people suddenly sort of finding it and frequenting it on a Saturday morning, but there's a really good pub in the city of London that does a really good English breakfast, and me and my cousin frequent it when we go up to London. Um, yeah, so you know, because I'm only 30 minutes from London by train, so I'm a well, technically from where I am it's an hour, because it's 30 minutes from where I live down to the station, and then 30 minutes on the train up to London Charing Cross, which is literally in the West End. I mean, Charing Cross is less than 5 minutes walk from Trafalgar Square, as the late great Spike Milligan used to call it, Trafalgar Square. Oh yeah, it is a proper English breakfast with beans. They do include beans. Oh yes, oh yes. But if you don't want them, I'll have your beans. Because I'm full of beans. I'm an Englishman. I'm full of beans. Yeah, half tomatoes. It is a proper sausage, bacon. I mean, if Raina Tamrin were here, she would not be happy, because but it's the full proper English breakfast with black pudding. Yeah. So trying hard not to burst out, not to have one of my laughter bouts of uncontrollable laughter. But no, I know all the haunts and all the good places in London. I mean, regular visitor when it was open: the Science Museum, Natural History Museum, Victoria and Albert, National Gallery, National Portrait Gallery, Tate Modern. If you like modern art, Tate Modern is the place to go. Tate Britain as well. Yeah. Did a wonderful exhibition on Vincent van Gogh, back in 2019. I think, yeah, back in 2019. Yes, very much so. Made famous in the Sherlock Holmes saga. It actually has a replica of one of the Eleanor Crosses, because it was obviously originally a village, and Queen Eleanor was the wife of Edward. It was either Edward. No, I don't think it was Edward Longshanks, which was Edward the First. I think it was Edward the Third. And when she died, the route that they took her body to be buried at Westminster, they built crosses at the along the route, and Charing Cross was literally the last was the last of the Eleanor Crosses to be built, and they built a replica on the original site. But when they built Charing Cross railway station, they built a replica in the 19th century of the original cross, because it had been destroyed foolishly, and you can still see it there to this day in the forecourt of the railway station, and it's an impressive sight. And of course I love going to all the parks in London as well. There's some really lovely parks in London. Oh, thank you for joining me, Lex. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. Yes, have a good day or evening or whatever time of day it is. I'm not sure, to be honest. But I love London. Almost feels like my second home, to be honest with you. I feel so at home in London. I think it's because it's so sort of I think the term is cosmopolitan. I'm a very, or maybe metropolitan. I'm never quite sure, to be honest with you. But I just love the culture of London. I love the fact it is a global city. You know, it always, I always feel at home in London. So it's, but yeah. Yeah, but if you're still there, Selkie, I was going to say, I will DM you, I will message you with the list of characters for Lord of War and Heartache. I would absolutely adore to have you on board as a cast member. I think your ASMR is absolutely superb. I was a subscriber to your channel. I'll be honest, I was a subscriber to your channel long before I became an ASMR artist, and I've always truly appreciated and adored all the effort that you put into your work. And any and every ASMR artist I'm subscribed to. I actually did say to Oopsie Daisy on her live stream last night that she was one of my big inspirations, and she still is one of my big inspirations to become an ASMR artist. It's because I've never really considered myself to have the voice for it, to be honest with you. I mean, I think it's got better as I've got older, but I used to have my voice used to be really annoying and whiny. I think I've evolved as a person, really, as I've got older. I mean, let's face it, I'm 36 now, so I'm not the person I used to be when, say, 10 years ago even. I tried ASMR back in about 2010. I did one video, and someone referred to it as creepy, so I never tried it again. But once I started to have my idea, I sort of came on board. Oh, thank you, Jade. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I used to. The thing is, I really used to hate listening to my own voice, and it really did used to genuinely irritate me. So I used to really hate listening back to it, and it's not so bad now. I can listen back to it quite happily. Yeah, I mean, a lot of my stuff that I do is put through Audacity anyway, so I change the pitch, I change the volume. Yeah, I know I've been an OG, I guess, but it was sort of a hello and salutations. It was like that, and apparently that was creepy. But I took up, I took it back up last June, and now I suppose a lot of people would consider me more a voice actor than an ASMR artist, though, because I do a lot of voice acting for my for what I do. I mean, I used to be an amateur child actor. I was in pantomime. I have told this story before on previous live streams. But in 1996, I was in a pantomime with Peter Pan. I was a lost boy, and I'm still lost to this day. The old ones. It's where I sort of, because I used to sing, I used to act. I was part of a youth drama club, and I played police inspectors. I played I played butlers. I played soldiers. I played different roles and things, because sort of at the end of term we used to put on like a play for our parents, and we all used to have a go at script writing, and I think that's where my love of script writing began, really. I mean, they never actually produced any of my scripts. I've still got scripts that I wrote when I was part of a youth club back in my teenage years that I wrote that never got into production, because, to be honest with you, they are, compared to what I write now, they are genuine rubbish. There is no harm at all in being a voice actor. That is so true, and I love it, because it means I don't have to worry about a costume. I don't have to worry about what I look like on camera. I can sit in front of my computer with my hair sticking up left, right, and centre. I can look a complete mess, and yet my voice could be on top form. It doesn't matter. I could have cake crumbs down my jumper. No, that's not a pretty sight, is it? Don't want to give you that vision. That's not pretty at all. Yes, I was going to. I've been meaning to ask you about that, Julie. Has he had a look at the list? Everything is available. So I can, if he has something in mind, I'm more than happy for him to have involvement, because I'm happy for anyone to be involved, even if they're not an ASM artist, but they want involvement. I am truly happy for them to be involved. It doesn't have to be 100% ASMR. I consider it ASMR over everything else. But yeah, I've already. I know I've sent you the list. So once he's excellent, once he's had a look and he's decided, there have been some changes. I've had a few people on board, already shown interest in some characters. So, because I've had contact through Instagram as well from someone else who's interested. So I've got to write them some character notes and send them, because I'm not writing scripts straight away. I'm writing, because a lot of these characters are further down the line now. I'm writing notes to begin with, and then writing the scripts afterwards, because it's easier to work with. So that's how I'm working this time round. But yeah, at the moment I'm pretty much casting at the moment. So if anyone's watching this back and they want, they'd like to be involved, you can contact me on Twitter, or my email address is in my channel description. Well, chapter 8 will be uploaded tomorrow. That features the new image of Rafiq, and introduces Anira and Loretta, played by Guinevere. Then it will be chapter 9, featuring me as Arik the Bard. Just getting up the list. Chapter 9 features myself as Arik the Bard, Urmila Dolce as Alina, Mike Talks ASMR as Nero, Mysteria's ASMR as Avalon, the Grand Seer of the Temple, and Spinner of Trails as Corvus, leader of the Shadow Court. Chapter 10 I'm reworking at the moment, and then it will be Chapter 11, which features myself as Geoffrey of Trigon, Atlas as Duke Octavius, Rob as Duke Heinrich, Jess as Lady Estrella, Lumi Umi as Persephone, Miss Chic as Lady Erica, and Savi Nien as Zara. And then chapter 12 is myself and Guinevere again, and chapter 13 is myself with Dapist ASMR, Exploring ASMR, Heliquin Noir ASMR, and They Seek Her There ASMR. Dapist is playing Draco the Peddler. That is actually a surname, not a first name. Exploring ASMR is playing Cassandra. Heliquin Noir is playing Shaman Moonshadow, and They Seek Her There ASMR is playing Helena, a local investigator and journalist. So we've got some really, and later on, for example, chapter 14, I've got on board Black Cat Aura again and Official Rainer Tamarin ASMR as Aquila the musician and Charisse the sorceress, respectively. Chapter 15 is myself as the mysterious stranger. Heliquin Noir is playing Ophelia the huntress. Sleep Stories ASMR is playing Georgina the artist. Guinevere is playing Alexa the dream cleric. And then obviously Julie, you're involved in chapter 16 as the dream dealer, and Sage has shown interest in the dream inventor. So hopefully I'll be able to request that she base it on Isabella from the Wisp, because this is the thing. I've dropped so many hints towards Whisperwind in my series that it almost feels like mine takes place in the same world. Obviously a different part of the world, but I have dropped a lot of Whisperwind hints or nods. And I mean, for Gentle Rain ASMR is playing Aramalthea, the Shadow Walker, in chapter 17, but really chapters 17 through to 21 are the ones that I'm looking to. ASMR Kiki in the Garden is playing Lady Vienna in chapter 17. Sugar ASMR is Lady Catherine in chapter 21, and They Seek Her There ASMR is Lady Estrada in chapter 21. But I've still got loads of characters. I've still got loads of characters to fill. And to be honest with you, the Dream Realm will need as many characters as possible, because that is key to art. Because chapter 14. If chapter 14. Well, if the Dream Realm didn't take place, there'd be a huge plot hole between chapter 14 and chapter 15. Chapter 16, chapters 16 to 19 at least need to happen, and I do need people on board for it, for the Dream Realm, because, as I say, the Academy is a mini series, so that's separate to the main story. And of course, I made the announcement, bigger fool me, that I'm looking to do a seasonal special in December. So I'm looking for people for that as well to play which is going to be a prequel. So the closing date for that is November, but I'm looking for people to play the family of the diplomat, and it's going to take place before the main story, before they even discover the crown of the Tyrant King. So, I'm looking for people to play the grandparents, the parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, friends, things like that. That is going to be a really ambitious. That will be more of a feature-length project, I reckon, or may have to be split into 2 parts. I don't know, but that one's going to be huge if I can pull it off. I won't be doing anything like Chapter 5 again. That was an experiment, that format. I'm really delighted I got the right people on board for that, which was obviously Yaloma ASMR, Crystal Ball ASMR, and Official Reign of Tamrin ASMR. I'm so happy that I got them on board for it, and it worked beautifully. But from my perspective for editing, I won't be doing that style of format ever again, because it was an absolute headache to edit. Sorry, I've been rabbiting on here, and I've sort of, I reckon I have got enough material, and I'm always creating new characters. Sorry, my back. This is always at the point where my back starts to. I reckon I've got quite a bit of material, really, because also I'd like some of the characters to return in the future as well. I mean, Rafik, a number of my own characters are recurring, like Rafik, Maximus, Volkov, Cleo and Trajan. They're recurring characters. But there are other characters I'd like to return in the future, like some characters from Chapter 4. No, that's absolutely fine, Selkie. You please do carry on. Life goes on. I don't expect everyone to hang on. I don't expect everyone to hang on my every word. No, please do carry on. But I just love doing it. I'm so absolute joy to speak with you as always, Julie. I'm going to be here for quite a while, so if you find yourself sort of back online and I'm still online, do come and join me. I'm not going anywhere. The night is still young, as they say. I mean, it's what, 10:05 over here, 10:05 here in Britain. So, but yes, it's anyway. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate that. But yeah, I'm always coming up with new characters and new ideas and things like that, because I love writing. I love creating places and all the place names are ones that I've come up with over the years for other stories. Ondar, for example, was a planet in my sci-fi series. Some place names I've got from books and things, like I've got a book somewhere about UFOs and things like that, and there's a couple of place names in the forest realm, which is Janos, Sarton, and Sarnia, and there's a story in this UFO book that, because I'm fascinated by that sort of thing because of science fiction, that apparently aliens picked up a family and they came from these 3 planets that have been devastated by a nuclear accident or something like that. And the names just stuck with me, and I decided to use them. I decided to adapt them and use them as city names. Varuna, which is the capital of the Forest Realm, is an original name. I can't remember where I actually got that name from. Gebelra, which is the capital of the Desert Realm, they are... The places in the Desert Realm are named after temples in a video. I used to have what was called the Philips CDI, and I had a game on there called Kether, Kether, and the cities of the Desert Realm that form are adapted from it had temples, and I'm just finding them, just trying to find the maps. Here we go, because I've got it all mapped as well. Preview pane. Yeah, for example, Gebelra is Gebura. Malakut is taken from Malkut. Vod is taken from Hod. Haknot is Hokmat, and Netska is Netsak. Portkol and Cully are original names, but I've adapted 5 of the at least 5 of the city names for the Desert Realm from this video game called Kether, which I used to play as a kid, and it completely stuck with, the names completely stuck with me. I have a good memory for names and a sort of past events in my life. I can remember exactly where I heard a piece of music, for example, for the very first time. For example, the Dance of the Capulets from the ballet Romeo and Juliet, I first heard back in about 1993 at Dover Castle, when they used it for the visitors' information film at the Second World War tunnels, and that's where I first heard Dance of the Capulets. I didn't know its name till many years later, but if you heard it, if you were to hear it, you'd know it. But I do have a very good memory for names and things like that. So yeah, and so, but I'm working on things throughout the world, and I've got the Firelands coming next, and you'll hear it here first. There's a dragon on the way. There is a dragon on the way. I'm working with another ASM artist who is actually developing a dragon for the series, and I've got to write the script for it, but I'm really, really excited, because they're into sort of digital animation, and I've seen preliminary designs of it, and it looks spectacular. I am so excited for it, because I love dragons. I am genuinely excited about it. I think it's going to be one of the best things to happen to the project. It really you know, it's yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing it brought to life. It's going to add a whole new dimension to the story, because we're building up to the second war against. We are now building up to the second war against the Tyrant King, and that is going to be the big one, and it may include a restart of the Dragon Wars. I've already introduced the concept of the Dragon Hunters, a revived group of well, they were elves originally, but they're elven descendants. So once the Dragon Hunters are, and there are other people I'm looking to cast as well, the Dragon Hunters. So once that takes place, things are just going to escalate, and it's going to be so exciting. I have got so many ideas, and so many, you know, big ideas for this project, that I'm really genuinely excited for it. I think it's, yeah, I really do think it's going to be something else. So, you know, watch this space, as the saying goes. It's going to be something special. I'm really happy about it all. You know, it's truly something else. Just seeing what else we've got going. But you know, things are you know, going strong, happening a lot. So I'm very happy indeed. But and now I've got my selfie stick, I will be doing a few more vlogs as well when I go out and about. So that will be something else I can do. Always wanted one of these. Always wanted one of these. A proper selfie stick. So, and it doubles as a tripod. So, you know, I can do proper vlogging for my channel as well. So you'll see a few more vlogs as well. On top of that. Yeah. So. Indeed, I'm. What else? Oh, August. Yeah, I do have some old vlogs stored on my. I need to put them back on. I have got some old vlogs that I did a few years back that I need to re-upload, which I will do. I'll edit them about a bit. But the other thing is August that I'm developing, which is basically where people read ghost stories in August. We did it last year, myself and another ASM artist, and it was quite well received. It was very short notice, so not a lot of people were able to get involved. But this year I've had some interest from even a non-ASM artist, which I'm quite happy to include. But basically, we all make individual videos and we read ghost stories. I tend to go for more factual ghost stories. The other person involved read Edgar Allan Poe stories. So you know, that was quite entertaining. But you know, as long as it's a story of the paranormal or anything like that, you know, anything goes really. You know, I like ghost stories, and anything to do with the paranormal. I'm fascinated by it. I've had quite a few paranormal experiences in my life, so you know, I've seen things, I've heard things, I've interacted physically, shall we say. Basically, I got tapped on the shoulder by an entity, as I refer to it. So, you know, I've had experiences which were quite interesting, to say the least. Seen the ghost of a monk. Been sort of been interacted with the ghost of a sort of like a. I think I was about 24 at the time. I did a ghost hunt at an old mill up in Nottinghamshire, and the ghost of a girl sort of interacted with me because she was around the same age, and I was the youngest person in the group. That was a fascinating experience. Not one I really wish to you know, repeat, but you know, it fascinates me. But there's just so much I want to do now, and so much I want to get done, because world's my oyster, really. Absolutely, world is my oyster. Yes, it's but yeah, vlogging. I want to do some more vlogging to sort of pad out my channel. I mean, this is technically vlogging for me as well, because once these are saved, yeah, I mean, yes, granted, I do talk about a lot of the same stuff every week, but sometimes there's new stuff to talk. There is always new stuff to talk about, and new ideas I put forward. You know, it's not. You know, sometimes I feel like a bit of a one-trick pony when I always talk about the same thing. But at the end of the day, if it's something I always think, if it's something you believe in and it's something you're passionate about, then go for it. I say, you know, what have you got to lose, really? You know, it could be anything and everything, and you know, here I am. I never even thought I'd live stream at one time, so you know, doing that on YouTube is a real milestone for me, really. Sharing my thoughts and ideas with the world. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Indeed. You know, it's something I've always believed in and always wanted to do. You know, I've always wanted. When I was a teenager, I always wanted to create like a TV series. You know, and actually get it produced and everything. And this is as, you know, my work is as close as I can get, really, to being like a TV series. You know, that's how it feels for me. And you know, I have no sort of background in production or anything like that. Everything is just you might say I wing it. You know, people. You know, you might consider that I wing it. At the end of the day, I think a lot of us do, really. But I do have a plan. I do have an idea of what I want to do, and I have notes and things like that, and I'm always on the lookout for inspiration. You know, anything that inspires me becomes part of my world. And for example, I was never sure if I was going to have anything like vampires in my project, and lo and behold, we now have vampires, and that came about from chapter 2 onwards, and because I didn't really know what I wanted to do after chapter 1, so I thought, it's my world, it's my series, why not? So it's really built up into something I feel amazing. It's I've worked so hard. I worked so hard on this because I believe in it, and I'm delighted to say everyone that's worked with me so far and is working with me so far has the same belief in it that I do. It's not just a sort of one-off thing. It nearly did remain as a one-off chapter, and I've had my moments where I've become really discouraged, and I have thought about throwing in the towel, but at the end of the day, it's what keeps me going. It's what keeps me focused. It gives me purpose. I'm looking for work at the moment, and between not working, looking for employment, and not having much else to do because of the lockdown, this is very much. I've got my other hobbies. I like model making and things like that, and prop making, but this has kept me ticking over. This has kept my imagination really ticking over, because it's original. The Lord of War and Heartache is 100%. Oh yeah, I will be for the next, because I'm using my laptop camera, so it's not the greatest of cameras. Thank you for joining me, by the way, Ricage. It's my laptop camera. I do have a proper digital SLR, which I will be using, but I forgot to charge the battery, so I have to make do with what I've got, unfortunately. I did try and get some software for my phone, however, I can't get that to work. So I would once I get that to work, I will be using my phone linked to my laptop as my webcam. So I truly understand it's not the greatest of pictures. I kind of have to work with what I have, sadly. So thank you. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Yes. As I say, that there will be better quality pictures on the way. No, I'm not 100% satisfied. I've never been 100% satisfied. This is my ninth live stream using my laptop. I have to say, I've managed to get the picture quality better than it was during my very first 2 live streams. So that's I'm just so glad I got this little beauty. Because otherwise the sound quality would have been awful as well. You know, so having got myself a Blue Yeti really does help. It's just the picture quality that's yeah. But you know, live and learn. It's a learning curve, and as I say, I'm still working on getting all the equipment working properly. So, you know, touch wood. Hopefully by next week, I will have got it all figured out. So it's all looking good. I'm happy, and keeping it going. Really, you know, life goes on. Life finds a way. But yeah, so working on so much at the moment for my channel. New material on the way, and new characters and everything. So it's the nice thing is, because obviously I email the scripts out. When I used to write scripts, because it was for a youth club, I used to print out pages, and I used to be knee deep in paper from the amount of printing I used to do. But obviously, because everyone I work with is global, I just email it to them. You know, I don't have to print anything unless I really need to, because most of my stuff I read off screen. I record off screen, so it's obviously, as a voice actor, amateur voice actor I should say, I'm not a professional. I'd love to be, but you know, I don't really think there's a lot of money in voice acting these, to be honest, and as I say, I have no formal training. So you know, I sort of work with what I have, and it's but you know, I've got, it's always churning up here, always churning. It's a real melting pot of thoughts and concepts and things like that, and you know, some more unusual than others, some very standard, bog standard, as the saying goes. You know, I work. You know, I do like to think I work hard for my channel. You know, I take pride in what I do. I really do take pride in what I do. And I'm sure there are people out there who go, "Oh, here he goes again, talking." But why not? If it's something, indeed, Catherine, thank you. Yes, you know, and I always say, if it's something you are genuinely passionate about and genuinely take pride in, you know, why not? You know, it's no different to a rock band talking about their latest album, or you know, a novelist talking about their latest book, or you know, or series book in a series or something like that. It's something I really do take pride in, and I love it. I absolutely adore writing it. You know, it's really, it's given me purpose. It has given me purpose. It's most unusual idea I've had. The Tyrant King, really, because of the concept behind him. And there's also a character called the Soul Reaper. I wouldn't say they're unusual, though. What is the most unusual? really, that's the thing. A lot of the concepts fit in with. I guess the Nightmare Machine really is my most unusual concept, because it's a chapter that will take place in the dream realm, and it is a machine that literally. Well, I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say nightmares are involved, and it's going to be a really interesting concept when you learn about it in the chapter. As I say, I've got 2 people on board for it already, and I'm looking for more people to be involved in that one eventually. But yeah, I definitely think that the Nightmare Machine is going to be my most unusual concept, because I think that will also be probably the first video I do where I actually perform on camera. I'm actually looking at performing on camera for that one, in comparison to... I have performed on camera before, but for other channels. I've done so twice for Jodie Marie. In fact, I've done 3. I've done 3 videos for Jodie Marie's channel. Who else am I involved in? Whisper UK ASMR. I've done a couple of videos for him where I've appeared on camera. I've done a 30-second video for Lumi Umi. Who else? No, I didn't appear on... I did the video game collaboration with Mike Talks ASMR, but I didn't appear on camera for that. That was me doing a voiceover. The first video I did was Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins, and the one that I did for the last collaboration, which took place Thursday, I did Batman the video game. But again, that was... Excuse me, I do apologise for what I'm about to do. Oh, I do apologise for that. Yeah, so you know, hopefully the Nightmare Machine concept will be the first time I actually appear. And if you've seen Chapter 7, you will have seen the character of Maximus, which is myself in my cosplay, in my steampunk cosplay. But it's a photograph. But I want to actually take that concept and bring it into video. So that's my big plan for that one. Oh, what else? As I say, I think my most ambitious is going to be the Academy as well. I'm still looking for people to be involved in that one as well, the Academy, and you know, I've still got I mean, I've got 92. I've got at least 92 characters in the main series to cast. I've got 12 in the Academy to cast. And how many have I got cast already? 71 already cast, with 7 scripts to write. So, you know, I'm pretty busy at the moment. So I've, you know, with 92 characters around or thereabouts to cast. I mean, I've got several that have been shown in, an interest has been shown in. So they're all marked in grey at the moment. So I will be doing notes for them for their prospective whichever character they decide to take on. Sorry, I'm looking at a screen this side. I've got two screens. Yeah, it's going to be a fascinating prospect coming up. The thing is, I've no idea how many chapters there are going to be at all. It's ongoing. It is pretty much ongoing. I mean, this story could go on for years. I mean, obviously, I'll bring the Tyrant King storyline to a conclusion, but I'm not going to end the Lord of War and Heartache. It will move on to something else. I have no intention of leaving the continent of Monarcha, nor do I have any intention of destroying it, shall we say. It's very much become a real place in my head, and there's so many ideas I want to pursue in the future that I think that there's enough ideas to take me for a good couple of years now. And I've set myself yes, it is a ridiculous target, but I would love to reach 1,000 subscribers by the 31st of December 2031. Basically 10 years time, because I feel that's how I'll be honest, that's how long I reckon it will take me. All I really want is that coveted community tab. That's all I really want, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm at 239 subscribers now, and I'm absolutely grateful for every single one of you. If you're watching this back, every single one of you that have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I said earlier on during this live stream that someone actually told me I would be lucky if I got a single subscriber. So to have 239 subscribers is basically my way of sticking two fingers up to them and, telling them where to go, because they told me I would never basically get any subscribers. But I would absolutely love to be able to interact more with my subscribers through the community tab. But I need 1,000 subscribers for that. And the problem is, for me, is my upload rate is honestly quite slow, and that's because obviously I have to write, record, I have to wait for participants to I do have to wait for participants to send through their footage, hence why I do the filler chapters. I have had a couple of chapters uploaded in the last few days, and chapter 8 will be up tomorrow. Still waiting for chapter 9. Chapter 10 just needs constructing. I've pretty much got virtually all of the segments of chapter 11, although I am waiting for a few people. There has been a few setbacks through no one's fault. So, I am waiting for a few people through no fault of their own. But when I finally get there, chapter 12 just needs constructing, and I'm still waiting for chapter 13 and 14. But they won't be ready just yet. They're more aligned for potentially late April, early May. Obviously, to allow for people having involvement with other collaborations that they're involved in. But You know, I mean, there's so many people I'd love, because there's other people I'd love to work with. You know, I'd love to have collaboration with in my series. I would absolutely adore to collaborate with Oopsie Daisy if she collaborates. Amy Kay, she'd be fantastic. Who else? Selkie has said earlier on that she would be interested, so that's wonderful. ASMR Shani is on my list of people I'd absolutely adore to collaborate with. I think she would be fantastic. Let's see, Oopsie Daisy, Amy Kay, Shani, Selkie. If she did collaborate, the Healing Rooms ASMR. If she collaborated, I don't know if she does or not. But to have her on board would be superb, because I think she's amazing. She's quite new, but she has grown so quickly, and I'm really thrilled for her. You know, she is an amazing ASMR artist. She really deserves all the success that she's had. There's so many people I'd like to work with. I mean, the big one would be GB. If GB really, you know, discovered my work and wanted, that would be the cherry on the cake, really. You know, that would be, you know, even if she was just in it once, that would be like the ultimate collaboration. In fact, you know, I would put everything aside and have her as the monarch, because I've never revealed what gender the monarch is, but you know, that's by the by if she were involved. But I really do have I have a wish list of big names I'd love to work with, really. Frivy Fox, for example, I would love her involvement. I don't think she collaborates per se. Neither, I think, does Calliope, although I would absolutely adore to have her on board as well, Calliope. I've got the, you know, just looking at my channels now, who I'm subscribed to, really. Vicky Scythe Moore, you know, I think she would be amazing. I mean, she portrays vampires, so you know, I've got vampire roles that she might be interested in if she, you know, Lady ASMR, or as she used to be, ASMR Attack. Love to work with her. The thing is, not everyone collaborates. That's the thing. Not everyone collaborates, and I understand that. I fully understand that. You know, it all depends on how they do it. You know, I mean, it's an open invite to everyone who wants to be involved. You know, there's no. I don't approach people. I'd rather them approach me. I don't like to approach people, because it sounds like I'm you know, I'd rather people discover me and want to work with me rather than. Well, thank you for joining me, Rysage. Very much appreciated. And yes, indeed, I shall stay positive. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, thank you for indulging my my whim of talking, shall we say. But yes. But where was I? Yeah, so you know, I don't like I don't like messaging. I tried it once, and I very much feel it backfired, and it I didn't feel comfortable about it afterwards. You know, I mean, a lot of hence why I put out the casting calls that I do, because I really do feel it's better if people discover me and what I create. You know, I mean, I'm an approachable guy. I like to think I'm an approachable guy. You know, I'm. I would say I'm I'm a sensitive guy, but you know, I'd stick to my principles of kindness, friendship, you know, caring, things like that. And I mean, you know, what you see is what you get with me. I make no pretenses. What point is there being pretentious and pretending to be someone I'm not? You know, I have been called out sort of recently, and I did have a long. I'm never gonna name names because I'm not that sort of person. But you know, things have. The boat has been rocked, shall we say? The boat has been rocked, and I'm just very disappointed, to be honest. You know, some truths have come forward that have genuinely upset me, because you know, I kind of feel that a situation arose and it didn't need to arise, and things have been said that didn't need to be said. But that's as far as I'm going to take it, you know, because I'm not a vindictive person. I will never be a vindictive person. But if I have to get something off my chest and I have to say it, and I feel the need to say it because for my own welfare and my own mental health, I will say how I'm feeling. And I did a video a few weeks ago where I really spoke from the heart about fearing that someone who was no longer connected to me was, you know, sort of, shall we say, active in a negative way. And in a way, my suspicions were correct. But, you know, that's as far as I'm taking it. That is as far as I'm taking it. I'm leaving it there. Because, you know, no one wants to hear my issues. And it is really a private matter. So, I just feel it's good to get it off my chest and just say that, you know, I've cleared the air. Shall we say? And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I've done that, because it's lifted the weight off my shoulders, and I do feel better for it. So I shall say no more about that. I shall absolutely say no more about that. Onwards and upwards to bigger and better things, really. You know, as I said earlier, the world is my oyster, and my imagination is the sea that the ship... Oh, what am I saying? I'm trying to make an analogy here, but it's nose diving like a kestrel towards a frightened rabbit. I have no idea either. Dear oh dear. So yeah, you know, I've got huge ideas for the future of my channel. You know, this project is gonna go on. Lord of War and Heartache is continuing. I'm building up I'm going to do other things as well. I am going to do some other things as well. I've got some other things I want to try. I'd like to do a few video game ASMR videos. I've got 2 that I can upload this week from my collaboration with Mike Talks ASMR. So that will be the test bed for those ideas. I will put them up in the week just to bridge the gap, as it were, and see. They're only about 8 minutes long, or probably will be a bit longer once I put in a few title cards, but I think they're going to be interesting to try. What else? I'm probably going to do a few show and tells. I might do a few show and tells for a couple of live streams as well. I've got plenty of stuff here to show and talk about, so you know, there's plenty of concepts I've got coming up in the future. So it's looking, things are really looking up, I think, for this channel. I'm really happy with the way things are going and the way it's all panning out. And as I say, I'm really grateful for all my subscribers, every single one of you, because you make this channel. You know, you are the people that spur me on. All 239 of you. You know, you keep me going. You know, you're my inspiration to keep going. Because I know how much you appreciate, and I appreciate you. I genuinely appreciate you, because I feel I'd be nothing without you. I genuinely do. I mean that from the deepest part of my heart. You know, I really do love how people have just accepted me and my crazy ideas and concepts so openly. You know, it's really inspired me to carry on, and you know, given me faith in myself and faith in everything I do and the people that I surround myself with. I know I've built up some very good friendships through this. You know, we may be overseas and online, but I've had some really amazing friendships develop because of this project. And you know, I really think I really don't know where I'd be now if it weren't for becoming a YouTuber and becoming part of this, you know, the ASMR community. I mean, I started out as a supporter, but I was encouraged to create my own channel. You know, and it went from there, really. I mean, I've been on Twitter since 2011, and I never really was part of any specific community. I mean, I've been on Instagram since 2015, and you know, I've got over 1,400. You know, I've now got over 1,400 followers on Twitter, who I'm very grateful for, I must say. So you know, it's really become something special to me. Really become something special. Social media has, in this last year, has become a sort of saving grace for me. You know, because I think if I'd spent most of lockdown on my own, I don't know what I would have done, really. You know, I'd have still had my hobbies and things, but becoming a YouTuber and becoming part of this particular community has in fact given me a sense of purpose. You know, it has genuinely given me a reality to hold on to. You know, it's given me more people to interact with, and that to me is important. You know, I love interacting with people. I love, you know, sort of talk. I love talking to people. I genuinely love talking to people and sharing my thoughts and feelings and ideas, and regardless of what it is, regardless of whatever it is I'm talking about. It could be the most random thing on the planet. You know, I could be talking about something really mundane, like, I don't know, paper clips. I don't know why I said paper clips, but you know, and people would just accept that that's what I want to talk about. They don't have to talk about it with me. You know, I sometimes what I tweet makes no sense at all, and you know, I don't expect people to interact with my tweets, or you know, just knowing that they do get looked at, because you can look on Twitter and see that your tweets are being looked at. Really does make a difference to me. You know, so, and this is why I love social media. I mean, I never imagined there would be a day where I'm as involved with social media as I used to be. Well, I never used to be involved. You know, I had Facebook, and I mean, I remember the days of MySpace and Bebo. I had Bebo, and I had MySpace. Not anymore. I never really remember what became of Bebo. But you know, discovering Twitter, discovering Instagram, discovering YouTube has really opened my mind up to the world. You know, I'm a much more rounded. Well, I'm rounded anyway. I'm not exactly the smallest of people. Joke. Anyway, you know, I mean, I've had acquaintances in the past who don't exactly. I mean, they have social media, but they wonder why they don't have the interaction that I have with social media. But when you sort of look into their interaction, it's, you know, it's so small numbers and things. I want to interact with as many people as I possibly can. That is my idea of what social media is. That's the whole point of it being called social media. You know, if you set your social media settings to private and only accept the people you want to accept, which is what this one acquaintance that I used to be friends with seems to do, I'm sure they're happy with it. You know, I'm not knocking it. If that's how they want to do it, that's absolutely fine. It's just not the way I want to do it. You know, it's not the way I do it. I'm quite a socially aware person. You know, I do enjoy interacting with people. I really do like, you know, discovering live stream, you know, through this system I'm using. You know, has opened me up to much more interactivity, and I love it. I absolutely love being interactive with people because it's just who I am. You know, yeah, I mean, it's taken me over 2 hours to get to this point, but I am autistic. Yes, I am autistic, and I am very open about it on Instagram, Twitter, and on here. You wouldn't know I'm autistic because of how articulate I am, I guess, but that's because I have had a lot of social interaction for many years. You know, I've always been a social being, because it's how I had to adapt. Really, I had to adapt to social situations, and I think that's why, you know, I do find it so easy to interact, especially online. You know, I mean, you know, I don't hide the fact I'm autistic. I'm an advocate for it. I mean, it's on my Twitter profile. It's mentioned on my Instagram profile. It's mentioned in my YouTube biography. So it's nothing. It's not a secret. I don't think it should be kept a secret because it's part of me. It will always be a part of me. There is no cure for it. The thing is, I've learnt to live with it. I've learnt to adapt, and yeah, I mean, it still does cause me issues. It does still, you know, I still have anxiety and, you know, social anxiety and you know, other elements relating to it, and, you know, underlying mental health issues as well, which I may cover in a future vlog or live stream. I don't know yet. I don't know how far I want to go with that, but it's how I want to do it, really. So at the end of the day, you know, I'm happy. You know, socially aware, socially active, and so all in all, you know, even when it's quiet like this on live stream, I carry on. I carry on regardless, because I enjoy doing it, regardless of how many viewers I have. You know, I did a live stream once where I had absolutely no viewers, and it turned into a vlog. So, you know, I'm grateful for that as well. You know, I'm grateful to have formats that allow me to sort of live stream my thoughts regardless of who's there and who's sharing it with me. You know, it doesn't matter to me, because I enjoy talking. You can tell, can't you? And at the end of the day, if I'm happy doing what I'm doing, that's what's most important. You know, no harm. You know, there's no harm in being me, and no harm in doing what I do. So at the end of the day, it's all good. It is all good. You know, I work hard. I don't play fast. I don't live fast. You know, I don't live life in the fast lane. No point living life in the fast lane. You miss out on the view at the end of the day. But you know, you enjoy life while you can, and you know, I enjoy life. I enjoy what I do. So at the end of the day, everything else is a moot point, and yes, there's negativity, but you learn to live with it. You learn to work around that, and you can't spend your entire life being negative. That's my philosophy. You've got to try and focus on the. You have got to try and focus on the the positive as well as the negative, and the positive very often outweighs very often outweighs the negative anyway. So that is the truth, and I'm all about that. You might see on my Twitter feed that it isn't always that way, but I do try and stay as positive as I can. I may have moments of negativity, but who doesn't really? It's part of being human. We're all human at the end of the day, and it's what else have I got to talk about? What else could I talk about? I don't know really. To be honest with you, I think I've covered everything I'd like to talk about for this live stream. As I say, if you're watching this back on the replay, I do live streams, or I try to live stream once a week. If there's like a video premiere, I don't tend to do live streams because of the chat, or I might do a short live stream. Last week's was cut short due to circumstances beyond my control. However, yeah, last week was cut short. I will have chapter 9 as a premiere when it comes up, when it's completed, and obviously chapter 8 will be up tomorrow, Sunday. Yeah, I think I'm going to call this a day because it is 11:10 in the evening, so I am going to sign off for now. Thank you so much for joining me, and obviously thank you so much for joining me if you're watching back through the live replay. As I say, I try and do these once a week, except when premieres, although I will try and do shorter ones after the premieres, sort of like the after party sort of chat. However, thank you so much for joining me this time round. This has probably been my longest to date so far, at literally 2.25 hours. So I think now is a good time to bring this to an end. And hopefully next time there will be a better camera involved. I can't make any promises, and I won't make any promises at the moment until I can get the software sorted. So for now, we'll let it get to the 15-minute mark and I will sign off. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you at the next live stream. See you next time. All the very